is the Vintage RPG Podcast, your source for the best in classic and contemporary RPGs. With your hosts, Hambone and Stu.
Welcome to Vintage RPG Podcast, coming at you again from the clubhouse hidden somewhere in the swamps of New Jersey. I'm John Hambone McGuire, and with me, as always, is the founder and publisher of Unwinnable. We're talking about Christmas in July and August. We're talking about toys. Stu Horvath.
Oh man, I guess I should have saved this episode until the holiday season, huh?
Yeah, you know what? I think our listeners always like hearing about toys. Brings them back to the glory days. Crystal ball warming on the peg. And never being able to find that one Transformer you were looking for.
It's true. I was actually never really into Transformers as a kid.
Neither was I. I'll be very honest with you and transparent. I may have said this on the show before. I was always afraid I would break them, especially like the G1 Transformers.
Yeah.
You know, and like I'm, a little more rough and tumble. I love G.I. Joes because you could literally like throw them out a window.
Yeah.
On a homemade parachute, which I've done, and they will survive. You may lose the weapon in the grass, but risk reward, right?
Controversial opinion. I like GoBots.
See, GoBots were more durable because they were made by Tonka.
Right. And I think that I feel like they had like they're doofier. I mean, I think that Transformers objectively are cooler, but I kind of like how stupid GoBots look. I think it's appealing. I do think that their chunkier, more durable design is pretty cool.
I think that the failing of the GoBots, the thing that made them doofier looking was the face. I think a lot of them had like doofy face, where like some of them were like, oh, this dude will mess up your day. Like he looks like the deadly cousin, but yeah. GoBots, I would be okay with messing with GoBots because they were just like, they were hard,
Yeah.
I was always afraid like I'd snap the door off of like, Mirage, like it was the wing off of like a butterfly, because it was like, oh my God, so delicate.
Well, let me tell you, I mean, Jarrett has gotten quite a few Transformers from Geek Flea secondhand. I won't pay. They're ridiculously expensive.
Oh yeah.
To buy, from the store for, a 5 or 6 year old, but sort of a remarkable number of damaged Transformers in my basement.
Oh yeah. The war on Cybertron is real.
Yeah, like they don't take the abuse all that well.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I finished that monster book, and then I didn't even wait until I was done with the monster book. I had already sort of started noodling around with the next book, which is about toys, specifically Dungeons and Dragons toys and their knockoffs. When I get close to the end of a big project, I start like fiddling with the other projects that like sort of extending how long I have to work on the one that I'm working on.
Dude, me too.
There's something I don't like not working. So like I finished the book, the monster book, and I read the monster book, and I don't want to get into editing or like revising or doing anything with the monster book. So I'm in like the zone where I'm just like, well, I guess I gotta clean the house every day. Because I don't have, like, it's not that I don't have stuff to do, but I don't have like a project. And without that project, I feel adrift and chaotic.
Dude, I know.
I think that I extend the project by doing procrastinatory stuff. And I guess you do too.
No, dude, every time I come to the end of the book, like I'm like 90% done. I'm like, all right. And then I'm already like kind of itching for something else. And I'm like, I should just finish this. I should finish what's on my plate before I start like making a snack. But no, I start like twiddling with something because your brain starts like, it's like I've already expended enough mental energy for this thing I'm supposed to be working on. Now I'm like, oh, this is kind of hot. What's this new thing over here? Hey, girl. Like, and then the next thing you know, you're like, oh God, I got to finish this thing.
In the midpoint of the project, actually, I like while I'm still writing the monster book, I was like, well, maybe I could just like take a month and just work on the appendices.
Oh Lord, yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's silly. That is counterproductive. That was a bridge too far. I still haven't written the appendices, but I will someday. I mean, I got time. It's not like this thing's coming out until like 2027.
I know, but man, there's so many other projects you could start between now and then. So
I know. Oh, yeah.
Tread lightly.
But anyway, toys by way of fiddling around with another project. I started to kind of try and find a couple of the bootleg knockoff 80s, early 80s toys that I was missing. I'm particularly fascinated by the original Dragon Riders of the Styx line, which listeners will be familiar with. It's the ones that they were like army dudes, like plastic soldiers that they lifted Monster Manual designs for the orc and the naga and made them in plastic, and then got in trouble with TSR, who then removed the faces of those monsters. And a couple other monsters that they had in the boxes were very much in line with the Monster Manual illustrations, but they were too generic to kind of to get into legal trouble. But they're clearly Dungeons and Dragons toys.
Oh, so they like filed the serials numbers off just enough that it's recognizable.
Yeah, because they're the ones that have the little lava men. They're red plastic, but if you look at them, they're clearly shambling mounds. But because of the red color and the fact that the shambling mound is a ripoff of Swamp Thing, Man Thing, and a whole heap of
a whole bunch of things,
swamp muck monsters. Like they couldn't really, they didn't have a legal leg to stand on. But the pig-faced orc and the naga were like very clearly stealing Sutherland's illustration. But there's other ones that there's like a whole Hong Kong knockoff thing that I love, and I was trying to pick up a couple of the ones that I'd been missing. We did an episode on the one with that had the little laser sounds and stuff.
Oh yeah,
that was fun. But I found. Hold on, I'm going to reach over here. I'm going to grab it. What is possibly the coolest, most amazing toy in a case, all-in-one component thing I have ever encountered. I think that it's for the copyright is clearly labeled 1983, which makes me think perhaps we peaked as a culture in 1983, because this thing is it's amazing. It's the Roll-A-Mat Dark Adventure Play and Carry case from Tara Toy Corp of Glendale, New York, made in Hong Kong, patent pending. This thing looks like it's a black plastic case. Can you hear that?
Oh yeah.
It's a black plastic case, and there's like a bas relief on the front of there's a tower on the one side, and there's like a little well, he's not little. He's a big cat man in a helmet with a sword, and there's another person in the back that has a sword for a hand and is holding a mace, and they're built like He-Man, but there's something about the costume design that looks a bit like Tila.
Just keep selling this to me. Go on.
And then there's most of the real estate is taken up by sort of a serpentine dragon with one leg and rockets that are sort of built into its side. Like it has like a jet wing. It's very strange looking. And it's amazing because it's sort of made with a gleeful enthusiasm and is sort of just not like anything that you would expect. It's very long. It's probably 2 feet long by maybe 5 inches tall, and it's carrying case. So it looks like maybe there should be a clarinet in here, or a flute.
Yeah.
It's a little bit bigger than a flute, but a little smaller than a clarinet case. But then you open the thing up, and the lid pops down. So you kind of set the case down standing up, and then the lid pops down, and then there's some cardboard stuff that sort of makes a castle with some fellas fighting on it, and there's a giant snake. There's also the Roll-A-Mat is the thing that's really great. So a lot of these toys had like a plastic mat that you could set your toys, like just lays flat on the ground. Dinosaur toys have this too, where they might have like a jungle scene or like a river, and it's just a plastic mat. And that's what this is. It's a 4-towered castle with a giant skull in the middle that is sort of gnawing on a ruby. It's odd. Again, this stuff is made. AI wishes it was this good, right?
Oh yeah,
like,
I know, man.
Like it's just like they were just like, we need some art for this mat that's fantasy themed. Go nuts. We don't care what it looks like, just as long as it looks right, you know?
Yeah.
So you get a giant skull with a pink diamond in its mouth in the middle of a castle. There's some standy-uppy things made out of cardboard. There's like an evil tree and a big demon. Oh, and another big snake and some treasure chests. Mine came with dinosaurs that I don't think are actually supposed to come with the set. But in addition to those dinosaurs, there's two kinds of plastic soldiers. The red ones are very small. They're maybe, I don't know, a half-inch tall. And they are a variety of, you would think that like maybe dwarves or goblins.
Yep.
No. These are definitely robots. It's just a bunch of doofy looking robots. And then the big ones are clearly a selection of black plastic aliens. They are amazing. The designs, there's one that sort of is a ripoff of the Metaluna mutant, but the rest are don't look like anything that I'm familiar with. They're fantastic. They're just like I said, it's just a bunch of, some person was paid to just make some plastic space guys for our fantasy play set. Like, just that work order alone is just, and I mean, there was not actually, it was not like, basically the factory was just like, well, we have these space guys, we can put them in this box and call it dark fantasy. The kids won't know the difference.
Listen, man, when you are sitting there and you get that kind of work order to design that, you're not working. You're joying. You're loving life. You're feeling good. You know, you're like, oh, I get to draw weird little dudes. A dream.
It's amazing. It's just it is completely disconnected from any kind of actual IP. It's a total cash grab. It's meant to confuse parents buying stuff. It was probably at the Ben Franklin, and like it was the kids cried over this because, oh, I want this, and the parents were just like, no, you don't. Like, you don't actually want that. You want something cool, and they're like, no, I want this piece of garbage because it is the most majestic piece of garbage I have ever seen.
You know,
and they were right.
They were right. And I'll give you a little sidebar real quick. It's something that I've noticed in my goddaughter and in a lot of my friends' kids. Like, yes, they love Star Wars, love all that stuff. But, man, you take them to Five Below. You know, you take them to the arcade and it's like, well, you have like 300 points from playing skee ball. What do you want? It's like, can I get those little soldier guys? Can I get a stamp with a little thing that looks like a boggle on it? Can I get an eraser? And like, you know, that's the thing. It's like, whoa, I got all this treasure. It's all these like weird little crappy toys that are like, but I think it's like it's a generational thing. I mean, granted, if you look at the world around you, the universe is not correcting itself.
No.
But on a very like small scale, when it comes to like kids getting psyched about like doofy stuff, I think we're kind of like seeing a renaissance.
Well, I think when I was a kid, as much as I like G.I. Joe and Star Wars stuff, and that activated like my collector brain.
Oh, yeah.
Which is something that I think is a much more adult impulse. But the stuff that I genuinely loved as toys were Lego, because I could make whatever I wanted with it.
Yep.
And all of this junk.
Yeah.
It appeals to me exactly the same way now as it did then. And because it's just a bunch of weird stuff that somebody made. And then they make, like, I mean, this is adult brain, but it's like there's a factory that produced these on scale and then shipped them across the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's just the industrial aspect of it just makes it cooler and much, much more perplexing. Because there's no market research. They just were putting stuff together and putting it out there. And it was awesome. Yeah. And it was the stuff that was the stuff that I loved. I think that is definitely true of Jared. I think that he, like, one of the things that he plays most with is these plus things, which is like, it's literally a piece of plastic that is two pluses fused together. So it looks like
right.
I don't know. I feel like that's like a hospitaler cross, but but you could smush them together and build with them. And he makes like little units for like his wars, his battles. And they're just like these abstracted color coded units. And he could play for hours with them.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, like he loves what he calls his dudes, which are just like the many weird, they still make weird plastic guys.
Yeah, they're a lot more expensive now.
Well, no, there's cheapies too. Like I got like buckets of them. They were monsters, and then there was aliens, and maybe robots, and it's just like a big bucket of like repeat. Like there's probably like 10 designs, and they repeat 4 times.
Oh yeah.
But relatively inexpensive for your army men to fight or whatever. And you can get them at rummage sales and stuff too. Like people don't.
Those are the
care about
best.
this. I have ninjas and astronauts. There's so many good ones, but it like that's the stuff that I see floating around my house. It's like the Transformers are cool and all, but they're in a box in the basement. Like, and same with the Star Wars.
It's like
toys.
what the kids play with. I mean, dude, like I'll tell you, like I'm gonna go on vacation with my family to Wildwood in, I don't know, a couple weeks, and like dude, I just remember being a kid on the boardwalk. You go, I'm like hanging out, I'm playing skee ball, I'm playing the other games there, and I had a great time. And at the end, I'm like, wait a second, you're telling me that I also get to walk out of here with some plastic vampire fangs, a whoopee cushion, a good luck charm, 9 little dudes, and a piece of gum, like
one of those spider rings.
Oh, fuck yes, spider rings. Come on, son. Of course a spider ring. But like, I think it's cool. I think it's cool that my little digression that like I think like things are kind of correcting a little bit. But go on.
I didn't know that the conversation was really going to take this turn, but one of the other things that I dragged out was my bag of muscles.
Oh yeah.
Because I recently also was like, well, let me see how many muscles I have and like how many I'm missing. I am missing only 20 something muscles. I think it's 22.
But weren't there like 263 muscles too?
I can tell you because I printed out the collector checklist and it's right on my desk
Love
because
it.
I'm a
I love
crazy
it.
person. 236. And I think that does not count. No, that does count Satan Cross, which is like the weird 2-part one that is sort of like rare and was not actually part of the real set. Muscles, if you don't know, are gosh, what does it say here? What it stands for? Millions of unique
MUS, millions of unique super.
for something that I love this much, you'd think.
I got it. Ready?
You got it?
All right. Yeah. It stands for millions of unusual small creatures lurking everywhere.
Yeah. So this was like the perfect thing because again, they are not connected to anything that was like on TV yet. There was a cartoon eventually, but like when I first saw these, I was like wandering through Toys R Us with my dad, and there were 4 boxes that were like 36 specific ones in like a window packaging. And they were all like weird little monster dudes. And then next to it were the random boxes, which weren't boxes. They were little garbage cans, little plastic garbage cans.
Oh, I remember.
And there was a wrestling ring because this is all sort of tied up in the imagery of Japanese style high flying wrestling. I think the Japanese name is something like Kinnikuman or something. Anyway, they're great. I always loved them. We swapped them on the in the playground. My favorite, and I think everybody's favorite, was the hand, which was literally it's a hand with 3 fingers and a thumb covered in warts, and then the middle finger has like this monster face on it. It's just like it's the greatest. I think that one was kind of rare, or it was just unusual enough of a sculpt that everybody wanted that. I love those guys. They're great. They're all pink too. Later editions introduced a bunch of different colors, but I'm a pink purist. I think that they look coolest as pink. I used to paint them, which is a memory that I kind of forgot until I dragged them out this time, and I'm just like, oh crap, I've been painting miniatures my whole life.
Well, isn't that like a wild thing to unlock?
All that time that I was just like, no, I'm not going to paint miniatures. I think I was just mad at miniatures. I don't like, it wasn't like I didn't like them. I felt like wasn't good at it. I was justifying. Like I have a very strange relationship with much stranger than I realized relationship with miniature painting.
I know, but you've gotten really good at painting them.
Well, thank you. I kind of want to paint some. I actually found a guy online who has painted a bunch of his muscles, and they look so good. They'd be really hard to kind of keep painted because they're a little bendy, so that would crack the paint off, but they look cool. But when I got the muscles out, I was sort of like, do I want to buy the 20 that I'm missing? And the answer is no, I don't, because I just don't care that much. They'll come to me in time, right? But I was like, another small thing that I really loved as a kid, but never got. Like, it was something that I knew about. Basically they came out when I was a little too old for toys.
Right.
But I was still like, I saw them and I was just like, well, if I was 2 years younger, boy.
Yeah.
Monsters in My Pocket.
Oh yeah, those are great.
So I bought a lot of Monsters in My Pocket on eBay because I thought that, well, partly it was just like, is this the segue? I feel like there's segues in my books. There was in Monsters, Aliens, The Holes of the Ground. There's the Dungeons appendix, which leads directly to Down, 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 which is coming out soon, hopefully. And then there's something that connects Down, Down, Down to the Monsters book, and the Monsters book has like a bunch of different call outs to future projects so that you can look back and be like, oh yeah, Stu was definitely thinking about these other books when he was writing Monsters. And I was like, is there a connection here? And do the Monsters in My Pocket sort of merit inclusion in the toy book? And I think they do. They were developed weirdly enough. Well, I guess it's one of those situations where they were created by a company, Morrison Entertainment Group. So they own all the IP, but they were produced in the 90s by Matchbox. So I guess they licensed it out or whatever. But Matchbox, makers of metal cars.
Yeah.
These are small, multicolored. They're about muscle size, which is maybe 2.5 inches, in a range of colors. And they are, oh my gosh, there's 11 series. I don't think that all of those are good, though.
Yeah, and some had to be repackaged.
Well, yeah, I mean... Yeah, look, I'm looking through it. The 4 real series. There's 4 real series, which is and it's just a bunch of monsters made into like plastic form. So, and you have some very interesting inclusions in this list. The first series is the longest. I think it's something like 40. It's something like 40. But you have. I'm just going to skim through. You have a Catoblepus. You have a Chimera. You have the Great Beast of the Apocalypse, which is a great one.
Awesome.
But then you have movie monsters like the Hunchback, the Invisible Man, Mad Scientist, Manticore without the wings.
There you go. That's one for you, bud.
Spring-Heeled Jack. There's a Tengu, Witch, Vampire, Vampirus, Werewolf, like all the classics. And then there's sort of like always like a mix of classic stuff and like really out there things. Like the second series has a Minotaur, which is like, oh yeah, no duh. But then it also has the Nuclevi, which is like fantastic. Another one right for me. They also have the actual Tarrasque, which is
really?
It's such a dumb monster. It's so good. I love it so much. It's a 6-legged turtle with a dragon head and like a spiky tail. And the turtle shell is covered with like Bowser spikes. It's like such like a French, like a medieval French kaiju. It's amazing. But yeah, so I got Monsters in My Pocket for the first time, and they're great. I love them. They are really expensive. Like if you like, I was balking at like muscles are about $1 to $2, depending on rarity. Maybe there's like rare ones that are like $3 or $4, but like Monsters in My Pocket like baseline at $4 each. And it's
yeah,
like. That's crazy. It's just a piece of squishy plastic.
No, dude, it's interesting because I tend to use Geek Flea as a barometer for current trends and also like kind of going rate for older toys, right? And anytime I've seen Monster in My Pocket on people's tables, $4 or $5 a piece. And like everything else that they're selling is priced to move. But Monster in My Pocket's like, no, I'll give you 20 muscles for $1, but Monster in My Pocket, this little dragon can cost you $5.
I strongly regret my buddy Oren is out in Kansas, and he's a collector of odd monstery things like and he was on the Facebook Marketplace, and he saw there's a like a collection stand thing.
Oh, yeah,
it's like,
I've seen that.
It's a volcano, and this guy was selling it for $35. And I didn't want to tell Oren to buy it for me, but I I did, but I didn't. So I hemmed and hawed, and then I started busting his chops. I was like, Oren, you should buy that. You can't let that deal slide. Yeah, and then I figured I'd buy it off of him later. Like after
Smart.
I was just like, no, really,
Smart.
I didn't want that. But like I ran the clock out and somebody else bought it, and I've regretted it ever since. It's only been 2 months, but I've just that was a bad move. We should have gotten the black plastic volcano display stand.
Yeah, listen, you look at things like back in the day, like a friend of mine posted something in one of the billion T group chats that I'm in, and it was the base for the sectors. Remember the sectors?
Oh yeah.
That thing was massive. The base is legitimately the size of a small child standing up and wide and like double wide. And you're like, man, like we didn't mess around with bases and stuff in the 80s. So it's not surprising me that they were like, oh yeah, we'll just make this like volcano shaped thing so you can display these monsters on your pocket, on your wall.
Right.
Like what is the thing? What is the name of the thing you have around your house? You got a bunch of them. You have the old little guys and like little pins and like old artifacts and them hanging on the walls.
Like a curio cabinet or like a shadow box?
There was one that you had in your house, like you had like an old
like the printer's tray?
Printer's tray, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we didn't mess around with plastic in the 80s to the point where like, you know what would be cool? Baby's first printer's tray. And it says volcano for monsters in my pocket.
Oh man. I should have bought it.
I know. I make you regret it more now that I've called it a printer's tray.
Yeah. It really is. It's the same. It's the same stuff. All these things, as different as everything seems, it's all the same thing.
And I mean, it's legitimately cool. Like it legitimately is shaped like a volcano. It's got like space for a lot of monsters. Yeah, dude. Like even on eBay, a monster in my pocket, one figure is $5.
It's nuts. I've been watching a Manticore because that wasn't in the lot that I got. And the lot was reasonably priced. They worked out to like $250, $3 each. And it was just like, oh, this is my starter set of 20, whatever. But like, yeah, it didn't have the Manticore. So I have like a bunch of them saved and they're all like $5 to $7. I'm just like, come on, man. I just want the Manticore.
Yeah.
So one more toy, not a vintage one. Our pal Ian sent me a picture of something that was for sale in the Four Horsemen store. Four Horsemen, New Jersey-based toy manufacturers. Mythic Legions series, very cool, often riffing on existing toys in a way that is loving but legally distinct.
Yep.
And Ian sent me this one because it's basically Kelek from the D&D line. His name is Arrizak, Arrizak. And I was just like, oh, yeah, that's great. And then I took a closer look, and I was like, shit, is that me?
Yeah.
I preface this with having been to Gen Con twice. Bald white guys with long white beards look a lot alike.
You don't say.
I don't really stand out in that crowd. When last year when Sarah was there, my partner at a winnable, they were like, man, it's like just standing here. It's like I keep thinking Stu's walking towards me and it's not Stu. So when I say it looks like me, it really does look like a whole swath of middle-aged guys with particular interests. That said, once I got the thing, because I had to see I was looking at the pictures online. The pictures are always different from the way the toy looks when you get it home. I got it home and I was just like, man, this looks like me. So I took a picture of it and I overlaid a picture of myself on it. And it really is very, very close.
Oh, man.
So close that I asked some mutual friends in the toy business. It's like, do you know anybody at Four Horsemen that we can find out if like maybe they got monsters, aliens, and holes in the ground, and they're just like, oh, that guy seems pretty cool to turn into an evil wizard? Because like that's literally my picture in the back of the book, right? It was not as far out of the realm of possibility as my usual flights of fancy are. And I do not believe that it is based on me, but it is alarmingly close in like a cosmic coincidence. So close that I will forever cherish it as my action figure. It's the
You have
closest I'm
to.
gonna
Yeah,
get.
my God, of course.
Yeah, man, it's great. And that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, you goofed up, man, because that whole tower thing is like $300 on eBay.
Oh God,
And
horrid.
there's one that's like complete, unopened, still has little figures in it. The stickers haven't been stuck.
Ugh.
Yeah, yeah, that's a.
I do think that the stickers had been stuck and maybe were coming off. But you know what? You can find
You can
those.
find them.
People do that. People make new ones. That's how I redid my Snake Mountain or Fortress of Fangs. I got a whole. I scrubbed off all of the original decals and I got repros and it looks beautiful.
And
Like
you finally got that complete, right?
yeah. There's a couple like I'm missing the weapons rack, but I don't care about the weapons rack.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, and I was missing the ladder that comes out of the snake's nose for a long time, and I had somebody 3D print me one,
Beautiful.
and that's what's in there. But then I actually, I think actually, so Clay Fleischer, who's in our Discord and has been on the show a couple times, repping the West Marches game. It's his Fortress of Fangs, and basically like he sent it to me. He was like, my kids don't care about this. I don't want it in the house anymore. Here, have it. And I was like, I'm going to restore this.
If I must.
It's like some people get project cars. I get the Fortress of Fangs. And I did. It took a little while, and then periodically Clay would be like, "I found another piece," and he'd send it through the mail, and I'd be like, "Oh, it's a plastic skull for the whatever." So
It's a good mail day.
and it was like years later, I feel like after I had gotten the 3D printed ladder, he was just like, "You'll never believe what I found." It's the actual ladder. Like, where was it? I don't even remember at this point. Maybe he does. It's like it's a sizable piece of orange plastic.
Yeah.
I feel like to have lost, but
You buy it back when you get old, man. You give it up in your teens. You buy it back when you're old.
yeah.
I get you twice.
But yeah, so toys.
Always. That your final thought?
That is my final thought. Thank you, Clay.
We love Clay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Clay is to blame for me being like, well, I have the Fortress of. I think that getting the Fortress of Fangs and fixing it was the thing that was just like, well, I have about half of these. Maybe I could get the rest.
It unlocked the door.
And then the whole Hawkler thing happened.
Oh, damn it.
Have we talked about that on a podcast?
We might have. It's been like 300 episodes, so.
Hey, you know what? We have all those questions. I want to do one question.
Oh, do a question, please. Yeah.
Get open the questions. the one the one that I really that I zoomed in on is from Benjamin. General culture seems to be unable to let things go. 1, does this express itself in RPGs? 2, does it show up in any surprising ways? And 3, are there any games that we should just let go of?
Oh, wow. If you're going to pick one question, shit.
I feel like this whole episode is about my culture being unable to let things go, but hey,
It's very apropos.
yeah. It certainly expresses itself in in Dungeons and Dragons. Is what I was gonna say. In RPGs, clearly the iteration of editions in D&D is an example of that. But also like just like the willy-nilly licensing it's just like any other kind of toy licensing or cartoons and all that stuff. It's just, yeah, sure. We don't let anything go, especially when it could make us a couple of shiny new dollars.
Fair play.
Does it show up in surprising ways? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm constantly surprised at some of the licenses that are out there. I was genuinely surprised when I walked by the Mattel booth at Gen Con and they had the My Little Pony game, role-playing game.
Yeah.
And something else that was like I was like, oh, that's an interesting thing that I didn't know existed.
I mean, they'll make anything a role playing game now.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, like the Wendy's role-playing game from like 5 or 6 years ago, the marketing stunt that I really hated that's certainly a fusion of things that we couldn't let go.
I think that's a great example.
Are there any games that we should just let go of? All of them. We should just get rid of all of them. We should have reset all of our preconceived notions and make new games and start over.
Yeah, like I think it's okay to let go of anything that you're not having fun playing. I think it's really okay to admit that you spent your money on something, it did not live up to expectations, you didn't have fun playing it, and maybe you flip it on eBay or Facebook Marketplace or something. Like you don't have to try to make something work that just doesn't, man. Just there's so many other games out there, so many other fun games. And like I'm even saying like Dungeons and Dragons. If you're like, man, I'm just not having fun playing traditional Dungeons and Dragons, yo, that's okay. There are literally 1,000 other clones, hacks, versions of it that might, fit your fancy a little better. And it's okay to go looking for them. So yeah, I think just if you're not having fun, fucking bounce, man.
Yeah.
I guess that's my final thought. A couple things I want to mention of note. I've been out and about in the world recently. I just saw Alice Cooper last weekend, opening for My Chemical Romance. I went again down to Philly before I went down to Catfest in Baltimore. Comics and tabletop games. Our friend Justin Sorois from Severed Books, creator of The Sickest Witch and other awesome stuff, had another convention this last weekend, and it was dope. It was a lot of cool comic creators. It was very comic-centric this time, but we also had some TTRPG main series there as well, and we had a good time. Oh, it's always a good time going down. If you're in the Baltimore area and either Catfest or Game Face is happening in March or April, definitely go to that. It is a fantastic small convention at a brewery that has a killer arcade and a separate pinball room. But I digress. On the way down, we stopped to see My Chemical Romance and Alice Cooper, and I've seen Alice Cooper before, and I will tell you now, seeing Alice Cooper again sober, right, and really like listening. Fucking Alice Cooper is one of the best live shows I've ever seen. That dude is 77 years old, and he was doing what could be perceived as an opening slot. Only got to play for 45 minutes instead of an hour and change. Brought the heat. I mean, even stuff like He's Back, The Man Behind the Mask, the Jason song, that kind of sounds soft on record. Nothing, I mean, everything sounds like it sounds on record per se because they're playing the same songs and the same arrangements, but except for when they kind of noodle. But dude, they go so hard. Hurricane Nita Strauss on guitar, three guitars, man. I will tell you, I am not one who's like, man, I need to go buy a t-shirt at an arena and or a stadium. I actually, and there was hardly any spots, obviously, because it's my chem show, selling Alice Cooper merch. I went and I found the only spot selling Alice Cooper t-shirts. I bought a goddamn Alice Cooper t-shirt. If you, State Fair, small theater, amphitheater, anywhere where you are where Alice Cooper is playing, go see Alice Cooper live. It's the whole spectacle, the show. It is worth it. He's 77. He is going like a younger man. Dude golfs all the time. I think that's what's keeping him spry. But friggin' Alice Cooper, go see Alice Cooper. And tabletop stuff, our friends from the Sewer Rats, Joey Royale from WHPA Fairhaven Get Haunted Industries, just dropped on Etsy. The Fairhaven Historical Society presents the 17th annual Fairhaven Bake Off. It is very much inspired by the Great British Bake Off, but how the Great British Bake Off would go in a place like Fairhaven, where it's that time again, folks. I'm going to read you a little description. This year's Bake Off surely going to satiate your sweet tooth with our theme, celebrating Fairhaven's rich history and ignoring the disturbing times through special cakes. Many will enter, but only one may wear the coveted crown of Cake Overlord of the Year. So if you like WHPA, you know how weird it goes. Fully into the paint with the weird. This is a brand new one. It is an actual legitimate adventure from A to B with different paths you could take. God help us all, cake kills. the Fairhaven 17th annual Fairhaven Bake Off on Etsy now. Go buy good RPGs. This is another amazing episode of the Vintage RPG Podcast. Dude, where can people find you on the internets?
They can find me on vintagerpg.com. There will be posts of the Who's He What's This, the Tara Toys Dark Fantasy case in 2026.
Yes.
And I'll probably find space for Arrizak somewhere too. Got it. It's like a self-portrait and sculpture.
Yeah, man. It is. It's like if you're not going to get an oil painting done of yourself, an action figure will be just fine. And I got to Google this when we get off the air. I got to see what this thing looks like. You can find me across the internet at John McGuire RPG, mostly on the Blue Sky and on the Instagram. And I'm out and about in the world. I'm doing stuff. If you like the show, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Your reviews really do help all our listeners to find us. And if you really like the show, why not become a patron? Patreon.com/vintagerpg. We get a behind-the-scenes look at some of the stuff Stu does. We have a killer Discord community that we'd love for you to be a part of. I like to put that up front now because it is such a rich environment where everyone's super chill and nice, especially now where everyone in the world is not chill and not nice. So it's definitely a cool place to hang out instead of social media. For as little as $1 a week, you get the episodes early, sometime between Friday and Sunday. This one we're recording on a Friday, so you might not get it till Sunday. We have a $5 tier and a $10 tier for games. The $5 tier is my monthly game. I run usually different things that I talk about on the air, and I have a correspondence campaign, 1-900-FANTASY. You're on a hotline playing a fantasy game by hitting the prompts on your phone, but there's a dice rolling system. It's pretty cool. At the $5 tier, you get in on that as well. It is a weekly correspondence campaign. At the $10 tier, we have Stu's legendary West Marches campaign that is so friggin' deadly. It is so much fun. It's going on almost 3 years at this point. So check it out, patreon.com/vintagerpg. So for Stu Horvath, I'm John Hambone McGuire. May the dice always roll in your favor. Take care. Thanks for listening. The Vintage RPG Podcast is a ham-fisted production. Music by Dead Go West. Art by Schaefer Brown. Edited by R. Alex Murray. Check us out at vintagerpg.com.